The SVG new sponsor spotlight today shines on Mediaproxy. Hi, everyone. I'm Brad Acosta, Director of Digital at the Sports Video Group. Pleased to be joined by a good friend of SVG, Mark Rushton. He's Mediaproxy's VP Sales and Solutions here in the good old US of A. Mark, wonderful to see you. How you doing, sir? Thanks for taking the time. We're really excited to have Mediaproxy aboard.
Yeah, good to see you, Brandon. It's a pleasure to work with the folks at SVG.
So we're talking about software solutions for things like IP compliance, monitoring, analysis, multi-viewing, all the capture of live video, all that fun stuff that goes on behind the scenes. What's Mediaproxy's specialty in the world of live video for broadcast? How would you describe what you guys do?
Yeah, it's in a nutshell, Brandon, and it's, in the past 20 years, Media Proxy has been working with the media and entertainment industry with our product called LogServer. Our core competency is to provide compliance, logging, monitoring, and analysis tool sets. And typically one finds us hand in hand with the broadcast and operation folks, making use of in the broadcast playout chain. And uh, and therein it provides kind of unattended monitoring with event notification. So that's kind of our core competency. So, there's no other aspect of television and streaming media that has more pressure than live. And we love live. We love live sports.
Obviously, you guys, latest formats and standards, everything across the board, any format and acronym you could think of, you guys are supporting it. But take us inside the product line. How are they? What are some of the stars, new and legacy, and how are they addressing kind of the unique growth needs that sports video kind of needs right now?
Yeah, well, you leave it to a streaming media or a broadcast engineer to invent yet another format or distribution model, and here we are shoehorning, live television across the internet,
Right.
and that in itself provides us with kind of a paradigm shift from a one-to-many broadcast environment to a unicast one-to-one. So it really has meant building out infrastructure and new tool sets, and what folks like to be able to do is sleep at night, right?
Mhm.
So in that sense, we provide confidence view that everything is picture perfect, and we do that with kind of a commercial off-the-shelf environment that as these facilities have migrated to private and public cloud, the implementation can be there, particularly in a kind of a live play out environment. So Log Server is kind of our 24/7 recording tool set. It's always on. Um, and the access of that is through a log player. This is an interactive browser-based tool set that really puts media front and center. Kind of coming along for the ride is what we call Monwall. This is a interactive IP multi-viewer that can be in a master control environment or used as a second screen confidence view. Um, so these tool sets kind of live in the business to business environment with partners to ensure that when signals get handed off from a venue onto a network down to a processing plant and then distributed worldwide, that those different demarcation points, you have the confidence that things are flowing.
Your log server solution, which you just mentioned there, was part of a big project that you guys are involved in with Sky Deutschland. It was part of a big overhaul of their production center just outside of Munich. Obviously, you guys are a global company. You are focused specifically on the US market. So, any similar projects that you're involved in here in the States that Mediaproxy has really helped an end user along?
Yeah, I guess some of the business rules have kind of changed, and there's been kind of a rejiggering of kind of the regional sports networks. You guys
Mhm.
have really highlighted that in some of your venues. Um, so most recently, we worked with Monumental on the new facility there in both the 2110 and transport environment. But the new Raptor project that Fox is heading up with their Tempe facility, the venue. And then you find us with NBC Sports, Peacock, Spectrum, and Sportsnet are all good customers that lean into our product on a day-to-day basis.
Now, someone like you who's communicating with and working with, broadcasters, venues, of all shapes and sizes all throughout the country, I'm kind of curious on your take on things. We're basically halfway through the year here as we look at the remainder of 2024. What's maybe a key trend that you all are focusing on that you think maybe folks in the audience should be keeping their attention to?
Well, it's that's the $1 million question, and everyone is kind of addressing kind of the changing of some of the business rules that open up rights and provide new partnerships. And sometimes these are old school broadcasters that are getting back into putting out baseball games in their marketplace. But so the trend aspect of this is really kind of I think one would say that in the sports environment and like a big year like this year where you have both an election and Olympic games, that the traditional viewer of leaning back and watching on a large screen television is very compelling. But kind of the new generation folks that are turning to their phones and tablets to be able to enjoy live media, I think is kind of the end game is kind of a Steve Jobs, start with your customer and work back. And I think we're very cognizant of our customers having to service the end users.
I think that's huge. As you mentioned, folks like to sleep at night, and in the world of live broadcast, that might not always be the easiest thing to do. So, if there's a company that's helping folks do that right now, it's Mediaproxy. Mark, we really appreciate Mediaproxy joining the SVG family. We're thrilled to have you aboard. Hope to see you at more events. And thank you. Thanks for taking the time today.
Sounds good. Thanks, Brendan.
All right, he is Mark Rushton. He is VP Sales and Solutions for the USA at Mediaproxy. You can learn more about them over at their website at mediaproxy.com. And for more videos, including other introductions to some of the industry's technology leaders in our SVG New Sponsor Spotlight, you can head over to our website at sportsvideo.org.